I don't think that we should necessarily be focusing on youth unemployment. I think it's important to keep in mind how the average unemployment rate is going across the different parts of the spectrum. And the key reason for that is because a lot of the time, if you just focus on youth unemployment numbers, well, those people might not have very high debt levels, very high mortgage rates, the types of things that would normally create a credit crunch or a bigger financial crisis. I mean, obviously, high unemployment in youth is not good news, but the flow through effects or the collateral damage to the economy might not be as great as unemployment rates across other parts of the spectrum for people who have mortgages and people who have debt and families. So focusing on the broad unemployment rate is quite important. And the government will be looking at these numbers before it gives us their July economic and financial outlook next week, when it gives us an update on how they want to proceed with JobKeeper and JobSeeker. My sense and what the Prime Minister has said is that they're going to extend JobKeeper to some extent. I think it should become a more targeted measure, but I do think that the Australian economy needs more support over the next 6 to 12 months. And the figures today really highlight that, because the unemployment rate just continues to increase.
Do you think we're going to see a relatively sticky high level of unemployment moving forward, especially considering that if we don't see any kind of significant recovery in the economy, if we see this second wave continuing to worsen in Victoria, we just got the latest number saying 317 new cases, that there just won't be the jobs, and there's going to be this incredible competition for jobs moving forward. And then that opens up the potential to having structural unemployment where people are just basically, the longer that they're left out of work, that the harder it is to get them back into the workforce?
That's the risk, and that's what the government is trying to address by pumping more fiscal spending into the economy, and why the RBA is, of course, keeping monetary conditions extremely easy. So that is why you need to see more support in the economy. You want to avoid the unemployment rate remaining at a very high rate for a long time. We think at AMP Capital that the unemployment rate will probably remain at between 7 and 8% over the next year, which is very high. You know, before coronavirus, we were talking about a 5% unemployment rate.